Hey all, I wanted to do a quick video talking about Millia's knowledge checks because I think that she's actually quite a knowledge checky character on this patch. And that isn't to say that these knowledge checks are a thing where it's like, oh well, if you know this it invalidates the character. It's just that these are things that you should know about if you want to fight against her consistently, because they will allow you to see mix that you might not have. Basically you can dodge mix and be aware of mix that you might otherwise not be aware of. So the most important one is this thing here. Where basically she can cross up into the corner but land same side and then force a slump, which seems incredibly fucked up. And it looks very unintuitive. But the problem is she can't actually force same side with this. If she ever does this Turbofall, you can literally just hold forward like that. And you see there I held forward the whole time and I still blocked it. And this one is one that hits same side of Kapel. I'll hold back this time and you can see that I still don't get hit. So basically, if you ever see Millia do JD in the corner and then do this Turbofall about to cancel into Kapel, just hold forward because Millia cannot do anything to make you so she hits same side there. It's unfortunately for her not a mix-up. That said, the situation is still good because she gets a safe jump and it forces you to swap your block and do some pretty unintuitive things. But unfortunately it's not actually a left-right for Millia, so this is something you have to be aware of because otherwise she's going to get fucked up mix on you with the wall slump at the corner stuff. I'm going to talk about some 2D things here. So whenever Millia, like ideally Millia wants to do, you know, mix where she just, you know, knocks you down and then does like an ambiguous air dash to make so it's unclear what side she's going to land on or whatever. Unfortunately that's not always possible. If you're like too far away, like that becomes easier to react to. Because she wants to delay her air dashes to make it hard to react to. Or sometimes, you know, if at certain ranges, she doesn't even get a left right, you know, that's just too far away. So for those situations, she has to do that instead. Which can look something like this at this kind of range. Where that one hits that hits Crossup, right? And it looks like she's about to hit Crossup. And the thing that hits everybody on planet Earth is this version where you go to about the Crossup and then the last second it's a Kapel. So basically if she does a 2D at this range, it is actually still a left-right. Hitting the Kapel of the JH leads to lower reward because gravity scales the combo, but yeah, it's still a left-right if he hits 2D at this exact spacing. Now it's quite difficult for her to get the spacing to make it so she lands one side and Kapel's the other. But it is possible to be consistent with it. And you know, good Millias will be consistent with it. So this is something to be aware of. Sorry, I have a cough today, so I'm just going to be like muting constantly. So this is something that is actually more applicable to midweights and heavyweights. For some reason this doesn't really work as much on lightweights, I'm not sure why. But this is like a magic pixel kind of cross-up thing, where basically if she hits it at a certain spacing where she ends up kind of far away, she can do an air dash, and yeah, here. Can you tell what side she's on? Like, yeah, you can tell because I paused that and you can like see which way she's facing, but it doesn't visually, like in terms of her position, it's very difficult to tell what side she's actually on. However, this does hit Crossup. And then she gets to do a full combo. So it's really worth being aware that at this kind of range she can do that, but the thing is, as I said before, Millia wants to do mix where she's delaying her air dashes to make it so it's ambiguous what side she ends up on. If she does this, she has to buffer the air dash as soon as possible, which then becomes reactable. If Millia is doing mix where she just buffers all her air dashes, you can react to that. It is hard. I don't mean like it's reactable in like the bad means reactable meme kind of way. Like, it's actually solidly reactable, it's just difficult. So what I'm saying is, if you get hit by 2D at this kind of range, what you want to do is block same side in case she does, you know, like this kind of stuff here or whatever. But just be ready to react in case she decides to cross you up instead. So that's just something to be aware of, because also she doesn't get great mix after you block that, so yeah. Just something to be aware of that this magic pixel exists. Next, I want to talk about some Crossup Protection stuff. So in the corner now, Millia can do this kind of stuff here, or she does that plan in the corner, or she does this to, you know, stay on the other side, to hit Crossup, sorry, hit same side even. But it's worth noting that you have Crossup Protection the entire time a disc is hitting you. You actually have more Crossup Protection now because disc is a higher level. Which means Millia does stuff like this. Wrong way. You're actually Crossup Protected the whole time. You can see I was blocking into Saul. And you're still Crossup Protected. And it's very difficult for Millia to really bypass this Crossup Protection. I think even doing like this kind of thing won't really do it. Yeah, okay, so if she does like this into the corner, like that's also all Crossup Protected. After the JH here, like this JH here, like it's just Crossup Protected. She has no way to force a mix up there either. So that's something to be aware of, that basically once you see Millia cross you into the corner, you're often Crossup Protected, so you can just kind of, you can either spam grab, because she has to frame trap the grab, which is very difficult when manually timed, or that kind of thing. Basically, it's something to be aware of that Crossup Protection exists. It's really notable on stuff like this setup, where she basically does this and then it's a 2k into a 2k. Basically, she does a TK Turbofall into 2k, but this 2k is also Crossup Protected. So, because the idea is that basically she either does, let me see if I can show, sorry, this is a bit scuffed. She either does a 2k, which lands Crossup, or she does the regular version, which does not land Crossup, which is what I just did. Yeah, so, but she actually has Crossup, you have Crossup Protection there, so again, you don't really have to worry about it too much. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of, and then whenever you're labbing your setups, also if you are a Millia player, make sure to lab that your stuff isn't being Crossup Protected, because it's quite aggressive. Let's talk about some close slash things. So you've probably seen, oh, that's the wrong replay. This kind of setup here, where Millia, you know, launches you up, then comes down and does this. I see a lot of people still get hit by this, and it's just, basically this is just saying, just be aware of this. Millia will often, after a disc launching combo, because the knockback scaling increases as well, where you get pushed further away from the opponent, you don't want to actually finish the whole combo, so Millia will instead go for this reset, where she'll do this, and then she will FD cancel into a JH, or she will do this version, where she will basically FD cancel and then hit the same side. Now, I actually personally find doing this extremely difficult, hitting the same side version. I might just be free, but I don't see that many Millias actually go for this anymore. And even whenever it was in the meta, people still weren't really going for it. You saw a lot of top Millias instead do things like this, which is what I ended up copying, where they just instead FD and then just fall and do 2k instead. Like that. So yeah, this is basically just be aware that there is a left-right coming here. And try not to get freed up too much by the left-right coming and killing you. Now, one thing Millia can also do, which is, this is kind of a fucked up knowledge check, just one sec. If she just lands like a base close slash, like this, she can do this kind of thing where she goes for a reset, and then because the knockback scaling isn't too much, you actually go back the same way that she just came. And she can enforce a left-right there. I don't have recordings for it, but you can just believe me, she does a left-right on which side she lands a GH on. However, the fucked up part comes that, and if she FDs the air dash, for some reason you go away from it. So this is just another layer to be aware of. If she does FD, be aware that you're gonna be like teching, or your get up animation is gonna be facing away from Millia, or going away from Millia. Whereas if she does non-FD, then it's going to be going back towards the direction Millia was probably using. So that is another layer to be aware of. I also want to talk quickly about this new thing that was found, where basically if you super jump install a aerial, you go a bit higher. So the main thing I just wanted to talk about here, I've talked about this elsewhere too, but basically if Millia is doing grab stuff, and you go to fuzzy jump it, normally whenever Millia does this, you want to just fuzzy jump, and it beats basically everything she can do. But now, as of like 2 weeks ago, she can now beat you doing this, if I do it correctly. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, it is like slightly awkward, but yeah, she's able to delay the JH enough to beat this. So this is just another layer to be aware of. If she goes for this late JH, you can just mash and beat it. But then if she goes for anything else, she can beat that. This is just another layer of RPS to be aware of that you'll have to lab out. Next up is this setup that I go for a decent bit as like a round ender. This is also kind of a knowledge check. This looks very, very scary because she's going every which way. But it's actually no different from any other grab disc, which is to say, you just fuzzy jump. The same as any other time. And that'll get you out of everything there. The actual mix is this, where she can do a high-low with Bad Moon or 2K and get a full combo off it. So what you should be doing is blocking high-low and then fuzzy jumping afterwards. And that will... It's still a 50-50 on the high-low, but make sure she's not getting away with doing the cross under with 2 and 4K for free. And I think that's everything, or do I have one more thing to show? Oh yeah, this one's a bit strange. Basically, if she's doing the mix-ups in the corner, then where she does like the whole, you know, this stuff. As you saw there, basically, if you just do this, she lands in the corner. But if she presses a button on the way down, then she does not land in the corner. So that means whenever she's doing, like, let me just turn this back off again. Whenever she's doing this... Sorry, this is very scuffed. It's like 5 AM. Yeah, she basically can make herself land same side, or she can make herself land cross-up. But as said before, you have Crossup Protection there. So just make sure to block low in case she tries to go for a 2K, and again, you should be fine there. It might be the meta develops and Millia's find a way to beat the Crossup Protection here, but for the most part, Millia's just going to stay same side to make it so she is safe whenever she does this. So yeah, I think that should be everything in terms of the knowledge checks that she has this patch. There's probably still some classic things that I've just neglected to mention. Like there's some other, you know, strong mix options she's always had, like, you know, she can do this with cross-up, or she can, you know, make it kind of hard to see whether it was same side or cross-up there. You can DPOS that kind of thing, then she can just like wait and grab you. You know, there's lots of layers to Millia stuff. Ultimately, when she gets a knockdown, she is extremely powerful. But I just wanted to make it so people aren't getting opened up by things quite as regularly, because there's some situations where people, I think, consider them unblockable, but it's actually just a 50-50. Which, again, to clarify, I'm not trying to downplay, is very powerful, but 50-50 is not unblockable, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I hope this helps people out, and if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.